Welcome to the Real Chat Podcast,
where we talk business, lifestyle, and mindset.
For the modern entrepreneur.
I'm Baxter Colburn.
I'm Allison Elise.
I'm Mandi Wilkie. Let's chat. If you guys want to just keep complimenting me as long as possible.
This is a good intro, I feel like.
Great way to start the day.
Welcome to our podcast.
Yeah, right.
Where we compliment Mandi.
Can we change the name of the show?
Compliment Mandi with Baxter and Allie.
Yep.
The real chat with Mandi.
Right.
Love it.
Exactly.
Well, welcome back to the Real Chat Podcast. I'm here with Baxter and Allie. I'm Mandi Wilkie. We have a special guest on. I'm excited because we have like a bunch of recordings and we have a bunch of guests.
Correct.
So super excited. Lindsay, I think I got to meet you about when you first moved back to Green Bay. Somebody introduced us. I don't know. I don't remember who or why, but we met and you were just getting back and getting settled. You had this kind of idea in the making that you were telling me about. And we really met because of Ledgeview. I always end up doing it somehow.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Somehow. And your business has now grown to the point where you stepped back from your other job. And you're a boy mom, and you get to do the most fun, like, not that this can't be for boys, but the most fun girly thing, I think. It's very girly. So welcome to the podcast. I want you to introduce yourself, say the name of your business, of course, and then tell us all about it. I feel like I could talk all about it, but I want you to tell us all about it, why people should do it, the ease of it, and I can chime in, of course, as well. But introduce yourself, my dear.
I am Lindsay Arndt, the owner of On Cloud 920. It's an event rental business that offers custom sleepover experiences for all kids in our community, but also adults can do it too. We are Green Bay natives, my family, but we've lived all over the place: Minneapolis, Knoxville, Northwest Arkansas. We're finally back home. So when we moved home, this idea kind of came to life to make happen. And I've been doing it for about 1.5 years now.
So cool.
So cool.
I'm always fascinated by the origin stories. Were you a big sleepover gal growing up, or like, where did this come from that you were like, you know what, this is a business idea?
No, I was the girl who was like, Mom, can you come up with an excuse why I can't stay over? I came up with the idea. So when we lived in Northwest Arkansas, our middle son was turning 3 and we were new to a community. We didn't have any family. We were still making friends, but you still want to make a birthday, a really special experience. So how do you do that? There was this company called Dream Big Tents, reached out to her. She did something very similar. She came over, put 2 tents in our living room for the 2 boys, and it was the most amazing, fun experience. They loved it. They didn't leave the tents like all night, which was kind of incredible at the time for 2 young boys. And we did it again, I think, for New Year's Eve, just to have another like special space for them to enjoy and celebrate. And then when we moved back, I was like, we should do this here.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing like your business around in Wisconsin. Never heard of it before in my life before you popped up and showed up on my Instagram, and it's been so cool to watch your business grow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I think what's really cool about it is I was the opposite. I was the queen of sleepovers as a young girl, but we always built forts.
Yeah.
We'd set up card tables, we'd break blankets,
and together
we would leave the forts. And I remember my mom being like, because it was such a disaster.
And she's the one cleaning it up afterwards.
How that works.
Which is why I brought this up, because segue into that, Lindsay, tell about the process of when someone books an event with you, because I just did this and it was so hard for me not to help you.
Yeah.
I was like, let me blow up an air mattress. Let me put the sheets on. Let me do this. And I did get to pack it up because this was a special circumstance, and hopefully I did a good job packing it up, and just like you had it, because you brought it in perfectly organized. I mean, talk about the process, right? From coming from your car, all I did was open the door. That's all I did. And then I was like, here's where it's going. So talk about that.
I mean,
for moms that are busy.
We start with the Midwest Nice. It's hard to not help. So that's probably the hardest part of the process.
She's like,
is to
please
be
don't touch the air mattress.
Yes. I'm like, it's okay. I have a system. Like, you enjoy. Like, the reason this came to be is like, we are all so busy. There's so many things that are like taking over our lives, from kids' activities to like aging parents to just the never ending to-do list. So if I can remove one thing from that list when it's a special occasion, or even if it's just a normal Tuesday where you want to do something special, let me do that for you.
Right.
Because we are all so busy.
Right.
Like, everybody. So it's so simple. You fill out a form, you pick out a theme. So simple. Go to my website, fill out a form. I have over 15 themes available that you can pick from, but you also have the ability to customize your own. We email back and forth, pick a delivery time that works for you, a pickup time that works for you. So it's not like you can only drop off between like 9 and 10, and I can only pick up between 2 and 3. It's very like, let's work together of what can happen.
In between basketball practice and kid drop off. And
Exactly.
when's the party?
Exactly. I mean, there's even been moments when they're like, here's my garage code, just please get it for me, because that's life.
Which is actually probably pretty fun, because I got to watch it come to fruition from an empty room. We pulled the furniture out of the room to this, magical experience. But to come home and just be like,
it's done. It's done.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's so
like,
cool.
you don't have to do it. You get to enjoy.
Right.
Like, that's the biggest part, is you get to enjoy. Like, yes, there's a little bit of coordinating. You might have to move some furniture. But a lot of people are like, oh, this is great. I haven't vacuumed under this couch in a while.
It's a help for sure.
Yeah, it works out.
Yeah.
What's the process? So I don't know if you're like this. Allie and I are like this when we walk into a room. We're like, where's the natural light? Where's this? Right? Like, but for you, like when you walk into a space, you're like, oh, I could fit 4 tents in here. Does your brain work that way, or is it just a weird thing that us like people that try to look at rooms in a funny way, or like I see that with engineers and architects, they're like, oh yeah, like this is that, and you can design it like that. Like, how do you see a room in that regard?
Sometimes it's a game of Tetris where like you walk in, you're like, oh, they have 6 tents, and this can definitely not.
This is not a 6-tent room.
But it's always worked.
Yeah.
Like somehow it always works. Now I'll ask, like, can you send me a picture of your space, just so I can like pre-plan, because sometimes just the configuration takes the most time. But it always works, even though one of the biggest responses I get is like, oh my gosh, they're so much bigger than I imagined, because they are. Like you can fit
have to sleep
a grown up in them.
Right.
They're like full twin size mattresses, and but yeah, it's the fun coming up with the configuration of using the space and just making it cozy and wonderful. And
and you have the option. Talk about the options. You originally started with the tents, and then like what you did for mine was you had a canopy.
Yep.
So if you feel like you don't have maybe as much space for the personal tents for each one, you can do the canopy. So talk a little bit about how that came to, because that wasn't right from the start, right?
No, so I started with 5 tents, and then I learned a lot of people want more than 5 people at their sleepover.
How do I pick just 5 friends, Mom?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, so true.
Not that I've ever heard
but
that.
also, I mean,
have 5
on the
dance
parents,
friends.
if they want
Correct.
more than 5 people sleeping, no, it's great. So the canopy idea came to be just to be able to service more than 5 people. So now we have 7 tents available. I also have more of the teepee style available, more as like a backup if there's multiple parties in a weekend. The canopy comfortably fits 6 beneath, but you can kind of double it up, so you can really do like 10 underneath the canopy. So that came to be just to be able to service larger parties.
So cool. What's your favorite theme you've ever done?
Good question.
Oh, that's great. The most favorite one I think I've ever done was a Nutcracker theme.
That was so cute.
It was a custom request, and I think the reason it was so wonderful is because it was a sleepover for the Nutcracker Ballet with the dancers. And the moms all kind of went in to help elevate it a little bit further.
So cool.
Sure.
And the balloons that were used were compliments
so
of
cool.
Let's Toast. So
I was wondering
like
if you had Maggie for those.
Come on, let's give them a
Maggie.
Yeah, which is
Gotta.
wonderful. I'm kind of like her, like, well, I'll use them if you don't
Sugar
need them
plum
anymore.
dreams.
It's so cute, because it's almost like the two of you have a girl crush on each other.
we do.
You're like,
I
I
love
love
her.
what you do. I love what you do. I love that.
Yeah.
I have it pulled up on my phone.
Yeah.
It is so cute. Just the details and the thought behind it. And I mean, I know you said that the moms kind of took it one step further, and what did they do? Did they do like the pillows, or what was
there was a pillow that they added. They wanted them to like take things with them.
Yeah, like a
afterwards.
little
So they
gift.
have the bow blankets.
So it was
they had the
4?
wreaths. But really every sleepover, it comes
cute.
with
This is
all of
amazing.
the
Wow.
details that you want, like the accessories to elevate the theme. Everybody has like a little like takeaway item after as well. There's custom garland, twinkle lights, breakfast trays that are decorated with every theme. So that was probably my favorite, but I have the Taylor Swift theme. That has probably been the
Yeah.
most
Big one.
popular.
Yeah.
I was going to say with the
Especially
girls.
with the boy mom, like being able to do the
Everything
Swiftie
pink
and gold and
sparkle,
Right.
like
Yep.
sign me up. Yes.
my God.
So fun.
I think one of the cool things too, so it was kind of interesting because one of the reasons we collabed, well, obviously you're a Ledgeview resident, so I love supporting Ledgeview residents, but also we were talking about taking this little bit of a box that you've been in with, okay, it's for the average, my average client is going to be for the 3 to 10-year-old little girl,
Yep.
right?
Sure.
And fit it in the perfect box. And we were like, wait, you were like, how do we get this for a mom's book club
Yeah.
or a bachelorette
Yep.
party? So we did it for my daughter because she's turning 21 in a couple of weeks. And so I did a little surprise. She hates surprises, but I did a surprise for her at home because she wasn't 21 yet. So I couldn't take her out.
Yeah.
But had a bunch of her friends over that are all in between. Some of them are 20, some are 21. And you did an awesome, fun, girly theme. But the best part, I think, for me was I recorded their reactions because none of them knew. They knew we were going to go stay at the lake, but none of them knew
What they were walking
what
into.
they were walking into, right? And I added matching jammies. So like you say, when the mom elevates, so
Yeah,
the girls all
absolutely.
had silk
So
matching
you folded them
That's
up and had them
cute.
on each bed.
on
That's
the bed
so
and-
cute.
and I of course went and bought little like champagne bottles for
Yeah.
each of them, but you had all of it done. I just added those things.
Added a tiny bit there.
But then I sent you the videos.
Yeah.
And I sent you the videos and I'm like, oh my, and then Lindsay's like, I totally wish I was there.
Yeah,
Right?
right,
Because they had all said they can't remember the last time they got to sleep next to their girlfriends.
Yeah.
Right? And just have like this, they were like giddy little schoolgirls.
Girls, yeah, at a sleepover.
I finally put myself to bed at like 11:30,
Yeah.
but so fun.
How cool to keep that magic
Yeah.
at that age alive when it is so far out of reach
Yeah.
for us, like the inner child that so many women like long for, especially like even just I can name a couple of my girlfriends that we would just be all about that.
All for it,
And
yeah.
it's like that feeds and fuels your inner child because once you become an adult, society kind of just tells you can't do that
Yeah.
anymore.
Why not?
But why can't you,
That's why we have
right? Which
kids,
is
to be
such a
able to
cool
get
and that
model.
just
That's awesome.
sparked a whole nother thing because I know the two of you have been talking a little bit about collaborating because
While ago,
Allie's got a beautiful space for photographing
Yeah.
things and it's big, so you could bring in the tent.
You
But
could. You could
should do that with Allie.
service.
Allie's got beautiful friends. We talk about beautiful people a lot on the podcast. But how great would it be
true.
Great.
to have Allie have a couple of her friends and do like the mom's night out sleepover photo shoot?
I think it'd also be, it
I'm
would
gonna
be
invite
cute to like.
myself to that because I want to be a part
That
of
should be the round table. That we
I think
talked
too.
about.
Should be.
You should. I was
Fun.
thinking in my brain. I was thinking you should be photographed with a
Yes.
setup with like some of your girlfriends. Like
We
do
could
it
do a Ledgeview
specific to
ladies'
you,
night in
a
the
Ledgeview-
tent.
Look at that.
How fun would that
Come
be though?
on.
Like, and we're on like the main like on Broadway, and it would just be cool to have
some in the
you have a
window, like-
photograph
Yeah.
of yourself with
So
a setup
unique.
that's so unique to you. I don't know. There's so many ideas, right? Your
Yep.
mind can run totally wild with that,
Yep.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
That the ceiling is
Yeah.
kind of limitless for you and
I
what you
did
can
it
do.
for my book club one night, and it was like the most incredible fun night. Like you said, getting your girlfriends together and just
Did you
hanging
post about
out.
that?
I did.
I did.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that's like where it is. Like there's more opportunities to find ways to celebrate with the people
Yeah.
you love.
Did you
love
seriously
it.
have earrings made to match your logo?
I might have ordered them from Etsy.
Oh my! Do you see her earrings?
I
You see
do.
her
I
logo?
see. They're
Yes,
so
that
cute.
is
That's amazing.
fantastic. She's all about the
All
brand.
the details. I love that.
Yeah.
all about
Got
the
a shirt
brand.
on too.
Yep.
I have to ask from the boy dad perspective, right? Because you said you have a lot of different themes. So my boys right now, like Nerf is a big one, Legos, right? Like, what do you have, or what would you recommend? Right, I have 8 and 6 year olds.
Yep.
The 9-month-old's not getting into a tent
No,
right now.
no.
He'll take it down.
No.
But talk to me a little bit about like from a boy perspective, right? Like, what are some of the bigger offerings or sought after ones that maybe
Yep.
the boy clients would go after?
I have a gamer theme that has been
Ooh,
very
that's very
popular
popular, yeah.
amongst the boys.
Yeah, and don't you have like a woodsy camp?
I have
type,
like a camping one, which is really cute with like
plaids
wood and
Yeah.
plaid.
hunting type? Yeah.
I also have like an outer space theme, which is really cool with like rocket ships. I have like sports all stars. You can do soccer, basketball, football, whatever it is, a mix of it. obviously a Packer theme, need that. And I can come up with as many themes as you can think of. I have a dinosaur theme that I'm ready to launch, which is really cute. That can kind of cater to maybe like the younger kiddos. Want to do Mario, things like that. It's just so fun to come up with these new experiences.
Yes. A long way.
Ding, ding, ding in my head. My son is 3. He'll be 4 in June. And then my nephew's 2 months older than him. And they love monster trucks.
Yes.
How cute would that be? Like a monster truck theme.
100%.
You know, you have your
Well, and
cute
you
little
did.
monster truck
Right.
as like their takeaway gift or whatever.
Yeah. When did who started the stupid take home gifts? Like if you have a party, you have to give a gift to the kids that
Right?
come.
Big.
That's
Yeah.
so true.
It's
Whatever
so
mom
true.
started that,
Hey,
we
I
hate
take
her.
care of that for you too.
There we go. That is
I think
true.
that's the social media era because people started sharing what they were doing for their kids in that era, and people are taking pictures and
I
sharing
don't
Ruin it for
follow.
the rest
I
of
don't
So it's
follow those
lifted the
people.
game a little bit
hate
to
those
where now,
people.
like when you're hosting, yes, all these children are bringing your child a gift. So what's in it for them?
And they're the moms that don't order the
Ridiculous.
pizza. They make the handmade
they
pizza.
make the handmade
Come with me. I
pizzas.
spent 10 hours hand rolling all the pizza.
So
my God.
for me, I'm like, I'm a mom, but I'm like just terrible at parties. I
do not think
Your
that
last
is
one
a
for
true
Wes was
statement.
great.
Yeah, the
Stop
Okay,
that.
fine.
theme.
Was it
Okay.
Wild West?
Yeah, but he turned.
Wild
it was Wild
West?
Wild West. His name's
Yeah.
Wesley, and we
Like,
did Wild
come
Wild
on.
West in the
Come
vault.
on.
Yeah, you don't.
And
Cute
we did a
little
Western
cowboy.
theme, whatever. But hear me out. That's the first party I've ever done for him, and he was
doesn't
turning
remember
3.
the other ones.
Addie has never had like a true, other than like going to the trampoline park last year for her birthday. She was like turning 10, so we went to a hotel overnight, and literally they just swam. I didn't see them at all. I literally got to work and. They just swam the entire time, and I ordered
a ton of
pizza.
editing done. It was
It was
great.
like super easy. I'm not like always in it when it comes to what, like, I don't know, throwing
All
parties.
you
And I'm
have to
also a
do
terrible
now-
cook. So I'm
All you
like,
have to do is call Lindsay, and then you just show
yeah,
up.
which I think for like the mom that relates to me in that aspect,
Yes.
you know, taking that off my plate takes the stress of, oh my gosh, what are we going to do for your 11th birthday this
And
year?
they don't
Addie?
need to
Like,
do anything else because they're so freaking excited
Yeah.
about the tents. that they're
Totally.
just- like the girls sat and played board games.
Yeah.
Literally.
On their
Yeah.
air mattresses in the tents. Like,
Yeah, amazing.
okay, have fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they also had a few cocktails. I'm not going to lie.
To be
Yeah.
expected,
Yeah.
right?
Did you
Yeah,
join
yeah.
them?
I did not have one cocktail. that was their mission, was to get me to drink, and I did not
Wow.
do
I
it.
love that.
Not.
Where
Yeah,
do you
so
get most
cool.
of your supplies? Because the tents look like very specific
Great.
or
Yeah.
custom, right? Like where does that all come from?
So a friend of a friend, that was starting it. He does woodworking on the side,
Oh,
and
wow.
so they are
Oh, custom.
custom made A-frame tents and the canopy tents, custom made. A friend of a friend, I can't sew, so a mom sewed all the covers for me.
Wow.
I would love to learn how to sew myself, but that's not on 2025's bingo card, I don't think.
Never know.
So again, it's like kind
Pay
of
for your weaknesses.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
right.
Kyle said, it's like making connections and talking to people, and they want to support you and help. So it's like
Yeah.
tapping into what they're really good at, so it can help support the part that I'm really good at. Is just like bringing the experience to life, but getting like it started. I was like, I'm not handy. I can't sew. So where do you go?
Well, you buy your time. You buy back your
Yeah.
time.
You
Like
empower the
that's
people that
where
know what they're doing.
That's
Yep.
that's
I
just a
think-
trade-off in the industry. Is like you hire the people that me and Baxter agree with that. Like when you're hiring out editors,
Yep.
you can stay focused
Godsend.
on going to the location, you know, creating that experience, taking the photos, and then that back end that takes up a lot of brain space as well. Like for you to sit and actually learn how to sew, who knows if you would have launched when
Yep.
you may
Exactly.
still be in the process of figuring it out,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
So you play on your strengths, and then you can have your community and those people that support you, and you play on their strengths, and then you have this amazing product now that you get to.
And maybe you've done
Sure.
this, but you could have takeaways from, like people that have done it, and I could say, well, I added on the silk matching jammies
Totally.
that
Yeah.
were a hit, or because you don't want to make your package become more and more expensive, and now you're dealing with what sizes does
Yes.
everybody wear and all these
Correct.
things. But
Yeah.
now you have a list of like, if you're doing this party, here's some add-on items to
Yeah.
think about, or you
Yep.
could include or whatever.
Yeah, which
For the
brings to
non-planner,
that next
right?
kind of like price point. What is that like? You don't have to give us like a total breakdown, but like price range wise, like if I were to want to throw a party for Addie and her 6 friends, because you said about 7, right? What does that look like for someone?
So they start at 2 tents or $200, and then each additional is, I think, around $50 for each additional
Okay.
tent. It's different for the canopy, but you can still probably do a party for 6, under however,
Right.
under $400, I think.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and again, you don't have to do the work where you probably spend that much.
Literally.
Going to the jump park and having, 7 of their friends jump for 2 hours or whatnot.
Totally.
And listen, I think
or like the hotel overnight.
big
Sorry
part
to
of it
cut you
is
off.
the experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're doing something different. Don't take this the wrong way, but if I never go to a Chuck E. Cheese birthday party again, I'm okay
Same.
with that. Ever.
Same.
Like if I never do that.
Even Dave and Buster's.
Yeah.
We attended a birthday party there, and
Right?
the mom literally told me, she said, it cost me $1,200 to throw this party for these kids to have these free plays.
That
It was
mom's nuts.
$1,200
Yep.
with the food that they offer and the free plays and the cards and all the
Yep.
things and the room. You're spending that much money. I mean,
rather give that
I
to a
can't-
local
yeah.
business that
Totally.
I know it's going to make a
I
difference.
can't afford that, but it's like, yes,
Yeah.
it's birthday parties nowadays are not cheap.
Yep.
No.
So
And
It is what it
and
is,
the
but it's
fact
about
that you
the
don't have to drive
experience.
anybody's kids anywhere.
Totally.
Like that's always a thing. It's like, okay, do I want to drive these kids? And I cannot stand it when someone hosts a birthday party and I have to drive my kid 45 minutes to get there.
and then
I'm like,
2 hours later,
That
3
is
hours
rude.
later, you're
That is rude. I'm sorry. I have to drive my kid to the Appleton trampoline park to come to this party. Like, I didn't sign up for that. I love all my friends. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you get to drop them off at their house
Yeah.
and you're done, and they come home and they're exhausted and
Yeah.
excited, and they have all these great memories.
And these ages, 7, 8, 9, 10, quality time is all it's about.
Correct.
Quality time with their best friends.
wanna hang out
They
with
just want to hang out with each other, and they want to have endless possibilities, board games, sitting and gossiping, chatting. Like Addie loves to do hair and makeup, and so like that beauty theme would
Yep.
be something that she would probably love. That's so cool. That's just, it's endless possibilities.
So great.
One thing that stuck in my head, and maybe this is me just thinking and not trying to tell you how to run your business, but one partnership that might be interesting is the vacation rentals in the area that have pools, right? Like, because then all of a sudden you have a much bigger space, you can set up everything, but then also there's a fun pool, right? Everything
Totally.
you're talking about, not spending $1,200, right? Like as a parent, I'm like, oh, if we're already staying here for the weekend, you could have this fun stuff here, and then you can do the game room, the pool, and it's all right there, right? It's kind of a fun thing that people can kind of run and do all of their stuff as well.
Maximize that time and space.
Think about the grandparent. When we go to my parents' house, there's not enough bedrooms for all the kids, so they
totally.
just sleep on the floor in the living room anyway.
Yeah.
When they were little, that would have been a great. I mean, now I don't think they'd appreciate it
Yes.
as much.
21-year-old's like, okay, Mom.
Yeah, like I don't
Yeah.
want to share a tent with my cousins.
Correct.
But as a little kid, it's like how fun is that? You're coming to grandma's for the weekend and she's got tents set up.
That would
Yeah.
be really cool.
That's something my
living
mom
room.
would do.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
would be such a unique thing. I'm always curious from a business owner's perspective. We've talked about this on the show a lot. When you're not doing this, what are you doing to take care of yourself? As far as like just refreshing yourself, because your brain has to always be
Yep.
going. We as entrepreneurs, we wake up, we're thinking about our business. We go to bed, we're thinking about our business.
Yep.
We're in the bathroom, in the shower, whatever it is, it's always radiating in your head. But when you unplug from that, even for a night or a weekend, like how are you consistently taking care of yourself so that way you can stay at the top of your game for your business?
One of the things I think about me is I love being a helper, which is why this business came to be. So outside of work, things that fill my cup are just helping to support the community in more ways. So I'm a part of a few of the boards here. We do a lot, like we've shared fundraising for Children's Wisconsin through partnerships to support our son Sully. So that's a huge part of my life. To burn off energy, no pun, I joined Burn Boot Camp.
There you go.
Community
Yeah.
and has really been
Or
a
with
huge,
Brett and Deanna.
Yep,
Love it.
a huge blessing in my life just to just have a place to be and encourage others. I just love the ability to make others feel welcome and to feel loved
that.
and encouraged. And so when I have opportunities to do that, that's when I feel my best self.
I love
That's
that.
so cool.
And I think that's everyone's recharges differently, right? Some people are like, I need a bath and I'm booked on the couch and I'm done. Other people recharge around other people, which is
Yeah.
sometimes for an introvert, you're like, huh, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? But
Yeah.
for the extroverts in the room, I'm like,
You're like, give me all the people.
Right.
Totally.
I'm like, this is relaxing for me because I'm with people and I'm doing things that I enjoy. I'm like, great, I'm going to feel super refreshed after this, even though I was quote unquote working for the last couple, whatever. Right. But I'm like, that's how my
Yeah.
body responds better, where my
Yeah.
wife would rather, be in the bathtub for an hour and be like, I'll see you once I'm, have relaxed for a moment. Right.
Yeah.
So everyone's different with that, which is great.
I'm always interested because with businesses, I feel like we're always, it's end of January now, but talking about goals for the next year. Do you have one big goal for yourself, for your business, just in general, to kind of, I don't know, like pinpoint something that you really want to do this year for your business?
When it comes to OnCloud, I think, I have 1 full year, under my belt now.
Yeah.
So it's really just looking at how I can continue to create these experiences and new ways to support that, maybe outside of the weekend. Because again, 3 little kids, managing sleepover parties with baseball tournaments and things like that. Like, it's a miracle that we make it work.
Sure.
Because your busy time is the weekends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, like you're working on the
So
weekends.
most parties happen.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So I think just to compare to this past year, I did over 50 parties,
wow.
and
Amazing.
maybe I can do 60. Who knows?
Yeah.
I just love looking back to see how I can compare to this last year.
So
I'm
cool.
still new. I'm still growing. It's fun to see this little side hustle actually became a legit business that is creating wonderful moments for our community, which I'm so grateful to be able to do. Like Mandi said earlier, the experience of them seeing the space, it's like an HGTV show.
Yeah.
The hands are in front of their face. They walk in and
Pull
they're like,
back
oh
the
my
curtain.
God. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
It's fun when my clients, they send me the videos of their reactions, because it's just more confirmation of what I'm doing is worth it.
I'm obsessed
Yeah.
with that.
And I
That's so
think,
cool.
I think as a parent of older kids, it's hard to wow 20-year-old girls,
Correct.
right?
Totally.
In the world that we live in, it's
10-year-old
hard to
girls
wow.
too.
And they were all like, oh my God, right? And my daughter hates surprises, so I had to let her in on some of it so she wasn't mad. But they were all just giddy. And I think for you, it's very rewarding, of course, to get paid. None of us do a business
helps.
because we want to do it all for free. But then to provide something so fun and so exciting that fills your bucket and gives you, nobody's like, oh, you got me tents for my birthday.
Yeah,
We're having
weird.
a tent party. Oh, it's so exciting. It's
Yeah.
So exciting.
there can't be a time that isn't fun.
Yeah.
So I love that. How can people find you as we wrap up? How can people find you? How far out notice do they need? And then what happened? It's really first come, first serve. So if my daughter's turning 12 next March and I can book you now, I should book you now. Okay. Not next March of 2025, 2026, because you've only got a limited number of, first of all, capacity.
Yep.
Second of all, there's one of you.
Yep.
Right.
I was going to say, we didn't even ask the question. Is it just you? You don't have
Just-
anybody else that comes
it's
with
just
you? or
me.
helps,
Your kids
or-
come with you at all?
No.
No.
My
you.
husband
She's like, God, no.
is my unofficial coworker who helps me load and unload the cars when
Great.
I ask him very nicely to do that. But it's me doing all the laundry, doing all the prep. So that's there's a lot behind the scenes that goes into it.
Her headquarters is amazing, by the
Yep.
way. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we moved
Pretty
from
impressive.
a little area in the basement to upstairs above the garage because we've continued to grow, which is great. I recruit some of my girlfriends to help
Would you
when
ever
needed.
add on anybody? Or
I
even one
think,
person?
if the time comes, I wouldn't be against it. Right now, I've been able to manage it, but I know the time might not be forever where it's just me, and
Right.
I'll need some more help to be able to serve more people.
Makes sense.
So how do people find you?
Website is oncloud920.com, on Instagram, oncloud920, Facebook page. All the information is there as far as themes, pricing, FAQ, form. So really, if you have something in mind, we can make it work. So
Probably
cool.
a lot like what Kyle said. Throw me an idea and I'll see if I can do it.
exactly.
Right?
I mean, that's how the Harry Potter theme came to be. Like, can you do? I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I can, because you want to do so many themes, but as a business owner, you're like,
Have
I
to be
can't
careful.
buy.
Can't store it all.
All
I
of
can't-
these.
Unlimited
yeah.
things, right?
But when it comes, let's make it happen.
So cool.
I love that. Well, thank you so much
Yeah,
for being
thank
on
you.
Yeah,
today.
thank you.
Best of luck to the business. Check out her social media. You do a great job on social media, by the way. It's super
That's
fun.
hard. I try to be an influencer, content
You are.
creator.
You're
You're doing
among
great.
things, but
Yeah.
That's the hardest part of
Yes.
business sometimes.
It is, yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. We're excited for it. And we appreciate you, the listener, for joining us today as well. Remember, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We'll be back again next Monday with another new episode of The Real Chat. Ladies, always a pleasure. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye.